Josh Dobson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Kevin. How are you, my friend?
Man, I am doing fan-freaking-tastic. So, guys, Josh works for BluPrint Mortgage, and you think, really? Isn't he your competition? Isn't he the guy that it's trying to steal all your deals? Well, here's the facts. No, he's not. Josh works for BluPrint Mortgage, and you're out of California, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Both Josh and I work for the same company, our same parent company. We're divisions of a company called NFM. Now, here's the reason I've got Josh on with me today. So, July, we started our journey on TikTok. Josh, how long have you been doing your TikTok?
It's been since I would say March of last year.
March of last year. So, just before I started.
Yes,
About
sir.
five. All right. Uh, Man, I thought you've been going for years. Uh,
No,
so
just the little over 1.5 years.
there you go. Well, Element moved to NFM back in June a year ago. In fact, a year ago this month. And I met Josh through that move, found out what he was doing on social media. And me being the social media giant that I am, I started copying. We started having conversations, and him and his team of these two or three ladies have really helped us out as far as our TikTok channel. Uh, I've had my YouTube channel now for a couple of years, um, but we've completely revamped it. And I wanted to have you on the show. We planned this about 3 weeks ago. I want to hear. Tell us about your journey. Tell us about what's going on with you, what's going on in California, and then I'm going to talk about how we partner on some of this stuff.
Sure. Thank you, Kevin, for having me. Honestly, kind of like you, we saw kind of a shift in the markets. We knew things were going to be changing a little bit, and there was definitely a new way to reach consumers. Um,
That's right.
as you and I have built our businesses over the last umpteen years, we did the old business model where we would contact real estate agents, work with them, become referral partners. We would keep in contact with our past clients, asking for referrals from our past clients, which is a great business model and it works well. But the one thing that happens when we have slowdowns, typically the normal volume of loans that we would get to be able to provide sustenance for our families kind of slows down, right? And so we saw an opportunity with social media. I follow quite a few of the other mortgage influencers out there, and I decided I would try to put myself out there to see if there was a way for me to do the same thing, to kind of tap into that. So instead of being lower on in the funnel and waiting for referrals from real estate agents, we try to go directly to the consumer and capture them early on. The reason for it is, and I think you can probably agree with this, or you can at least attest to this, the more that we reach them further up in the funnel, the more we can educate them, the more we can help them, because we've all been in that rat race where we get the client who's already found the property that they want, but they don't know if they qualify, right? They haven't even been pre-approved. And so then you have improper expectations, there's disappointment. So it's great being able to, and again, using edutainment. That's the term I like to use for what we do, right? So it's a mixture of education and entertainment. And that's what social media is great for, right? Because most people go on social media for their entertainment, but a lot of them will use it to search for education. The search bars and the SEO that you can get on most social media rivals Google and YouTube.
That's right.
So it gives them an opportunity to look up things that they're interested in. So if you're interested in buying a house, you can go on social media, you can search home buying, you can search home loans, you can search real estate, and you're just going to get a plethora of videos on the topic. Obviously you're going to get a mix of some of the stuff where it's a lot of sales, but you're also going to find people who are actually educating. And that was where
Right.
our point was when we went in. We wanted to make sure that we were providing value, and not necessarily looking for sales. It's a great source for us to generate leads and provide and get customers to eventually help with home loans. But our approach was education first. and providing value without expecting anything in return. And I really
That's
feel like that approach has really helped us, because, like I said, you can search these things, and when you get on there, you're going to get a lot of sales. But I feel like a lot of the people will turn to the information where they can actually get education first. And then it gives them a lead way to communicate with us, whether it's through DMs or whatever it is, and they can learn. So I think that's been our approach, and it's worked really well.
Yeah, it has. And there's something very valuable in what you just said. Uh, you put yourself out there, okay? And that part of it has been a little daunting for me. I've never been shy. I've never been camera shy. I've done commercials. I've been on TV. I can get up and speak in front of 100 realtors, no problem at all. I don't, Josh, we've been in it for so long. I don't even really have to compare. I can get there 5 or 10 minutes early, listen to what people are saying, and change what I'm going to talk about. But getting out and putting yourself out there on social media the way that we have been doing now for a year plus, um, it has changed my world just a little bit. And to give you a background with me, when I first got in this mortgage business, and I'm in my 24th year now, I started with a company that we were buying lending tree leads. And so we were actually the second largest company doing lending tree. And it was direct to consumer. Of course, it was refi. It's a completely different market, but it was still getting leads from the consumers first and getting them first. I love my realtor partners. I love all of our referral partners, but we've always looked for that nugget to be able to feed our realtor partners. What I have gained with doing our social media is now I'm taking leads and I'm making new partners. I've got a new partner in Texas now that I'm getting ready to send her a pre-approval loan. And I guess what? I met her on TikTok.
Yep.
I've got people in Atlanta. I've got people in Alabama. I've got people in Pennsylvania now that I'm sending deals to. And that's exciting to me because, and you said it perfectly. It's like, and in fact, I did a little short the other day about jumping out of an airplane without checking your parachute.
I remember that one.
You know what? People get excited about buying a house, and I've always said, people love looking at $500,000, $600,000 homes. They don't
Definitely.
want to talk about a $500,000 or $600,000 loan.
Not the mortgage payment, that's for sure.
No, but the key is, I think, let's do it from the start. Let's find out what we're comfortable paying. Let's find out what we can do, and let's educate these people. And I love the fact that you have that same passion, which is why you're here. Okay, which is why you're here. And I'll explain a little bit more about that, guys. As I said, I met Josh. Been a year ago this month. Um, we actually, our company is licensed in 48 states. Now, since I have started our social media journey, I've gone from 4 states to 9 states. So any of my leads that I get that we're getting from all of our social media platforms, if they're not in one of our states, I'm sending them to Josh and his team. And I'm telling you, I'm so comfortable doing that because I know that they have the same character, the same integrity, and they're really, truly wanting to help people. And Josh, man, I'm telling you, I wanted to publicly say thank you so much for what you and Jacqueline and Lindsay and what your entire team has done to help us on our journey. It
Of
means a
course. I
lot.
mean, yeah, I mean, that's like, I think that's the second time publicly you've thanked us, because I think the video that we've posted a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's okay. So, I mean, let's dig into that a little bit, right? So for me, I'm willing to give away everything that I know to whoever asks, right? And you came to me and you kind of had some questions. We talked about it. And I think for you, your comfort level with being on camera, being in front of people, made it a little bit easier for you. But at the end of the day, like you said, we have the same goals, right? And
Yeah.
you had a desire to try to expand what you were doing. And it's not rocket science. Like we've talked about it many a times, right? Just hit record, be consistent, provide value, and the rest will fall into place. And I think the other thing that, we also have talked about a couple of times is that we try not to focus on the vanity metrics. I think so many people look at our content and they're looking for likes and views, and comments, which are all well and good,
Right.
because it's engagement. But at the end of the day, it's about the people that we actually can connect with and we can communicate with and we can help. I know you've seen a huge uptick in the number of people reaching out to you, trying to apply, trying to become homeowners.
That's right.
And that's really where, at the end of the day, this is all about. So I think that was also very helpful in your journey. And just like you, I need help sometimes, right? And so I can turn to you and I can ask you questions. We can bounce things off of each other. But again, we're not. I think anybody in this industry should look at this as not a thing of competition, but more as a network or a group of people that we can lean on, communicate with, talk with, and learn from.
It's a
Because none of us
community.
have the magic bullet, right?
That's right. It's a community of like-minded people. And I'm going to tell you something else, and this just hit me. What has amazed me so much, because you've been doing this 20 plus years, and I don't know what you did before. I want to get into that one day as well. But I've been in sales for 43 years, and I don't think what we do is sales. That's the problem. I don't think what we do is sales. I think what we do is advise, because it's the biggest purchase that people make in their lifetime. But I have picked up the phone, I've knocked doors, I've done all those things that we have to do to build a business. And what has really amazed me about this process, Josh, is I can call somebody and they've sent me their information. They filled out the short form, they've asked for a call, and I'll call and I say, Josh, this is Kevin Blair. Or I'll say, is this Josh? And they say, yeah, who is this? I say, well, this is Kevin Blair with Element Home Loans. You found me on TikTok, or you found me on. Immediately the walls drop
Yep.
and they start talking.
Yeah.
And it is so refreshing because people are hungry. They need information. The questions that we get, they just don't know.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they don't know, but they want to ask questions.
Yeah.
So no, this has been a crazy, crazy ride, and I think we've just started.
Yeah. I
I
mean, like you said, you've dealt with consumer direct with the lending tree leads. And this is something that I feel like a lot of our industry and the mortgage CEOs and board of directors, they don't understand, right? We're not buying leads. We're creating leads. And these leads are actually people who are engaged with us, people who have watched our videos, who feel like they know us. So instead of following up on a lead call that they've gotten 10 phone calls from 10 different lenders, and they don't even know who you are, the moment you introduce yourself, they understand that this is the person that they were watching videos on and who got them to engage with them. But the other part about it is that level of trust that's created with that. And I think the one way that you and I do it a little bit different than some of the other influencers that I've noticed, we're in the comments, we're in the DMs, we're personally calling people, we're personally following up with this. Yeah, we're not the big influencers like some of the other guys who have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers. But at the end of the day, we're customer driven. We're actually
right.
in the weeds talking to our customers, these people who are reaching out to us. And it's crazy because some of them are like, I can't believe I got you on the phone, or
I know.
you actually emailed me or DM me back. And I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
And
I,
you get them,
I
well,
think
I've reached out
that's
to
the
other
whole
people and I've
idea.
never heard from them. And I'm like, oh,
Right. Yeah, imagine that.
yeah,
Imagine that.
yeah.
Well, let's do this. I like to keep these, around 15 minutes. That way, people will continue to engage. Josh, what's the best way for people to find you that are not in my 9 states? What's the best way for people to find you?
Obviously, the best way to find me is to go out on Instagram or TikTok, search at Mortgage Data 3. All of my contact information, all of the ways that you can get a hold of me or you can reach out to us is there. Like I said, I'm in my DMs. I am responding via text message. I am always available and trying to give as much information as I can. It's not a sales call. It's not me pushing you to apply. If you have questions, you can ask away, and I will do my best to answer the questions. Another aspect of this is if I can't do it, I will tell you I can't do it, but I know that it can be done. And that's just because, we don't have all of the product offerings that everybody does. We don't have all of the same guidelines. There are overlays, which I think is a little bit different than a lot of the other lenders, right? So a lot of lenders will tell them, oh, it can't be done. And it could be done. It's just that they can't do it. So instead of being honest and advising and educating, they would rather say, no, you can't do it. Here's what you need to do. This is the only way. But there's alternatives to everything. There's always the opportunity to get a second opinion. And I think that's what's important with this is that if you've been turned down or you've heard the word no from another lender, it doesn't mean that you don't qualify. It doesn't mean that you can't qualify. So I would suggest reaching out to us so that we can advise you. Because like me, I know Kevin will tell you, yeah, you should be able to buy a house. If I can't help you, I'll put you in contact with somebody that will.
That's exactly right. And guys, if you're looking for somebody in my 9 states, my name is Kevin Blair with Kevin Blair Team. You can search Kevin Blair Team and you find all of our social media platforms. If you like this kind of information, hit subscribe, hit share, ring that freaking bell. Go to my About page. You can send me your personal information and we'll set up a conversation. Josh, thank you for allowing me to send business and trusting it. Okay. Thank you and your team for taking care of us. And I can't wait because we are going to meet one day. Okay. We are going to meet one day. I'm going to get you into the hills of Tennessee. And
I'm excited. I want to get out to Tennessee for sure.
Fantastic.